Welcome to New Realities. I'm Alan Steinfeld, and I'm very happy to be here with my co-host and the host of Nourish Your Soul TV, Michelle Copeland. Hi, Michelle.
Hello, Alan Steinfeld. It's such a blessing to have you.
It's our first show together.
In the house together.
In the house, in the studio. And we do have a very special guest.
Yes, we do.
And it's someone you brought to the world's attention. Why don't you introduce him, because he's sort of your person.
Yes.
I mean, I like him too, but he's your person. He's a good guy. So go ahead. Who do we have here?
So I am passionate and excited to announce my friend Tyler Ellison, who channels a being called Riok from the Sasani civilization. I'm very passionate about sharing the Sasani's message of love and how the world works, and so that people can upgrade their reality and their experience and bringing that to mainstream. So I've joined in collaboration with my beloved friend Alan Steinfeld to have a show that we can bring to mainstream.
Right, and we're starting with Tyler here because Tyler is a multi-purpose channel. Actually, no, so Michelle talked about Riok, who's Sasani. If you've seen my Bashar video, which has like 500,000 views, it's pretty amazing.
Yes.
Bashar says he's channeled by Darryl Anka, and he's a being from the future, a hybrid being who's 300 years in the future in a kind of a parallel universe. And Riok is of that same civilization?
Yeah, Riok identifies as a being from that same civilization known as the Sasani.
Is he friends with Bashar?
They're not necessarily in projects together. They're in separate projects. So
Are they existing in the same time frame?
Same time frame, but
so
different projects.
They are contemporaries?
They are contemporaries, yeah.
But they have different specialties.
But they know each other?
Yeah, they're aware of each other. Yeah, Bashar's commented on Riok before, and Riok's commented on Bashar before. So they have awarenesses of one another.
Okay.
The interesting thing is that Bashar is more focused as a first contact specialist and conveying that information and bring it forward, and whereas Riok is more specialized in the hybridization program and that of the hybrid children.
Right. But before we get to Riok and all that, I'd like to know your background in channeling, because I've been exposed to channeling for the last 25 years, so I'm a bit of a channeling snob.
Yeah, sure.
No, I mean, I just, everyone says they channel, and it's like, really? And I'm not saying you don't, but I want to know your orientation to channeling. And I liked what you were doing the other day, but
sure.
How did you get into this?
So I started getting into channeling specifically through listening to channeled content and then relaying what I had heard. So I would listen to Bashar or other channels, and then I'd be around people who weren't familiar with those concepts, but I wanted to share them to those people. So I would start explaining the concepts, and when I would explain them, I would enter into the same state of being as the channel that I had received them
Really?
from.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So I would start doing like mannerisms, I would have hand mudras that would start happening, and I would just like go into it as if I wasn't even in the room anymore. It was.
Do you think anyone who relayed those concepts would start to channel that, or it's the vibration of the message?
I think it's both. I think it's the vibration of the message, but I also think because we've heard these messages through channels, that when we're relaying that message, we're also tapping into the channeling state that the message came from. So we're getting both the vibration of the message and what it is to channel.
That's interesting. So then, but something then happened at some point, right, where it took over.
Yeah. I started wanting to channel, not so much for like delivering extraterrestrial messages, but more so to write stories. I wanted to do creative writing, and I wanted to see if I could channel a whole fictional book, where it was like not really me creating it, but it was me just allowing information to come through. And I was writing a book I was really impressed with. I feel like it was just the best of my imagination. And I eventually got writer's block with it, where I was like, oh man, I feel like I'm judging it, and it started to stagnate. So I took time off, and then I had a really impactful dream where I felt the symbolism was very profound. The feeling states from the dream were incredibly profound. I woke up from the dream with this overwhelming state of unconditional love. It was like seamless. Like I was dreaming one second, and the feeling just carried me into the wakeful state. And I woke up like, whoa, this is really, really powerful. So.
And then when did you actually start to, channel, like lose consciousness or shift consciousness and bring in?
That was when I went to interpret that dream. So I went to the channeling state through some exercises I had learned.
Like what kind of exercises? Because I'm sure people want to know what you do.
Sure. So I mean, at the time I was using a different technique than I was doing now, but it very much involved meditating on certain symbols.
Geometric symbols?
Yeah, exactly. And they would represent the vibration of whatever the consciousness would be that I'd want to tap into.
Wow. How did you discover him and his...
Well, for a couple of years, I've been following Bashar since 2014,
Right.
and then your interview really touched my awakening with Bashar, and introduced me to Paul O. And then I had just had this, I took it deeper with the Esasani, and I actually found him with another interview that he had done, and I reached out to contact Tyler because I wanted to have him on Nourish Your Soul TV, and expressed to him, look, I have this vision and dream to actually take the Sasani message and bring it to a larger audience, and he was like totally, interested in collaborating and working together to do that. So.
The Esasani, like I said, they're 300 years in the future. They're a hybridization of humans and the little grays. And what else do you know about that civilization from like the inside? What could you say? What do they look like? What does the whole thing look like? Yeah.
So they're a bit taller than the grays, more compassionate, more heart-based, and more so here to sort of repay the favor that we've all provided through sharing DNA, which has led to their creation. So
I donated my DNA personally.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I'm like 90% sure this is also
right
for myself as well.
So they're physical still, right?
They're in a quasi-physical state, so they're still in the fourth dimension, but they're in the upper echelon of the fourth dimension.
Do you see them when you're how do you know that? How do you get that picture of them?
So this is information that's provided from other channels. This is also information that Riok will provide to me while I'm in the state.
But have you ever seen them?
I haven't seen them in person with my own physical eyes.
Well, do you want them to manifest today?
That would be amazing. Yeah.
Okay, Michelle, go
nice?
ahead. You work on that, Michelle.
Okay, all right, yeah, sure.
I also want to say you're doing a series together online. Just say
Yes.
some.
Yes, we actually started the first Contactee training program that we've launched together, which will be with Riok, Tyler, and myself, to take people deeper into getting in touch with themselves, making contact with themselves, knowing yourself, which is critical and most important, seeing yourself as being equal to these extraterrestrial beings. If we are to further contact, we must actually see ourselves as being equal to them, and also heightening our telepathic skills, our sensitivities, and also getting in touch with our beliefs, and dismantling our negative beliefs that may prevent us from having these types of experiences that we desire.
And then where do we find that online?
You can actually find that on